All right, this one was fun. This is actually not a podcast I'd ever heard of, but the website was just beautiful. So it's called Deep Dive, and I immediately knew that there was going to be stuff that was going to be problematic, and we actually developed some features to because I thought some of these ideas were so good. So the site is super clean, uses custom fonts, uses custom images, lots of stuff that if the person had the chance to actually customize on our end, we could get it closer. Like this image isn't in their feed. This image is, custom thing that they uploaded. Um, most of these are. And so you can see kind of where we ended up, but I think it's pretty good. You have this is not something the Podpage has ever done where there's this sort of like inner background that doesn't reach all the way to the edges. So we played around with that. This font is custom, so we knew we weren't able to get there. But overall, content-wise, I think we got fairly close. So this is theirs. This is what we did. So we now have this feature. So if you're in the homepage and you go to design, we're going to have to rename some of the stuff, but it's in colors and fonts right now. It's called sections, and you can actually change if you want if you're applying background colors to certain sections on your pod page, you can change if you want it centered or if you want it to go edge to edge. And so this is something that we just developed. I'm sure there's going to be more to do here, but it's just kind of cool. It really changes the vibe when instead of having this the full color, you just have it. And this will apply to all the sections on the page. So all the sections have white backgrounds on this page, but if the sections had different colored backgrounds, then you would see, them wrapped in different ways. So that's pretty cool. And obviously we have like rounded corners and all that. So we got pretty close. I guess we actually were able to pull in some of these images. I think, let's see how we did that. Okay, so in this case, we use the YouTube matching. So these images actually were thumbnails for their YouTube images, not for their in the podcast feed. And so this is another thing when you go in here. This is actually over in episodes. And if you edit the episodes page, you can say episode images. And so what we do is we're selecting if there's a video, which means if the person has added a video to their episode page, use that thumbnail, which is what's happening here. If we were to use the one from the feed, you can see he doesn't even do episodic artwork. So this is a really cool way to make the page look better for those who spend a lot of time on video thumbnails. So video thumbnail if available, boom. And now suddenly it gets much more vibrant because he has chosen to not put any effort into the episode artwork, but put episode into the YouTube thumbnails. And so in order and obviously it would have taken forever to go through and add all of the videos to each of the episodes, but we used, for those who haven't used it, we used the episode YouTube video matching. And so they have a playlist that has all their videos, and we added the playlist, and then Podpage went through and matched everything up. There was a few on YouTube that weren't actually in the feed, but for the most part, we found a bunch of them. So, and enough definitely for this demo. So the challenge ended up being great. I think it's not perfect. I think the font is so distinctive that if we just don't have access. It's not a Google font. It's a font you have to pay for. So we could buy that. And I think that would immediately make it look a lot closer. There's a little bit of discrepancy. They use like larger cards for the featured episodes as opposed to the same size. So there's just little things. They also have this cool toggler in the recent episodes where you can just click through with seasons. I'm seeing this more and more, and we're going to add this to Podpage. So unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to add it prior to this, but I think this will be something that's coming, and it's pretty cool. So anyway, super fun.